Hi everyone, this is RNG. Uh, I made a video a few minutes ago, and was talking about the German election, and I made a statement in that video that I was going to talk about the lifestyle in Germany, how things work in Germany. Like myself, I'm an African German, you know what I mean. So I spent time here in Germany. I've lived here in Germany for quite for not too long, just about six years in Germany. The thing is, I'm going to compare Canada to Germany, so that if you're living outside Europe or you're living in Europe and you're thinking of where to move to, because right now when you type on your Google the best place to migrate to at this moment, one of the places that will come out first is Canada, and I think Germany, Australia, and the rest part of the world. Now, Germany is a country that runs the same system with Canada. I think Australia, but I have not really done my research about Australia. But the one I'm really sure about is Germany and Canada. Now, Germany and Canada, they are two beautiful countries, and both had, I think, both are similar when it comes to running the system of running government. They are not completely the same, but both are similar. Like in terms of economic, German economic is larger than that of Canada. In terms of education and every other thing. So Germans are beautiful people, and Germany is a beautiful country. Now let's talk about what you need to know before you make your move. Of course, at the time you might be in a country where it doesn't matter where you go to. Like if you're in Nigeria, you're in yeah, let me say if you're in Nigeria right now at this current administration by Muhammadu Buhari, to you it doesn't matter where you land yourself, where you go to. All you just want to say is that you're out of the country. Because right now if Nigeria is to be classified as here in the last day, I tell you a lot of people will repent today, because Nigeria, as I'm speaking to you now, Nigeria is no longer a country, but let me not talk about that. So, what I want to talk about is just the situation and the lifestyle in Germany. In Germany, like I said, I came here 2016. Yeah, 2016. So, I've noticed a lot of things about the German system, their culture, their way of living. German people are people that hardly mix up with foreigners, except you're a white foreigner. If you're a white foreigner, they they play along with you. But if you're a black foreigner, you have a lot to deal with, because there are few Germans who really see that see the color as not an issue. But a lot of them, even the foreigners, now you'll be surprised, even black Germans, like the black people who came here and later they study here and they became German citizen, they are working in maybe good office. You find out that those people even resist you from Africa. They resist their own black brother. So now you discover it's not just about the German people, it's about the land. Because when I came to Germany, I was working and I was having a temporary working permit, which I have to renew every year. There, I met a guy, Sri Lanka guy, a black guy. So when I met the white people, I don't know if it's a real German, because right now it's difficult to get a real German. Most of the white you find in Germany now are foreigners who been here for a very long time or who were born here. But when you talk about the real indigenous of Germany, many of them are in Canada, Australia, UK, US. Just they spread abroad because they are no longer comfortable in their country. I realized that when the white person was trying to make things a little bit easy for me. When I mean a little bit easy, I'm not saying easy, a little bit easy. Then My file was transferred to this black guy, this black Sri Lanka guy, and he was trying to make it hard for me. I just don't know. Like my son, when I got married, we had a kid. I didn't marry for document. I married for true love because God revealed it to me that she is my wife. So we got married. So when the I took my son to the immigration station to get a work to get a card for him, identity card. We got there. The first lady gave the white lady gave my son 18 years, and because of my surname, because I'm a Christian and I bear a Muslim surname. So after much discussion with my dad, so he gave me permission to change my surname to his own name, his own first name, not his last, not bearing his last name anymore. So after I did all that, I did it in Nigeria, then changed it to my Nigerian passport. I took it to the embassy, to the immigration center. They did all they have to do, and so they have to change my son's surname as well. So when I go back to pick my son's stay permit, this Sri Lanka guy, because the file was put transferred to this Sri Lanka guy, he gave my son 5 years, while the other white lady, gave my son 18 years. So this guy, well, I don't know what he was trying to prove anyway. But for me, I didn't bother about it because I know already my son being a newborn baby, so time after time he had need to change his card because of his face, and as he's growing, his face changing, and they need to change the card time after time. So I didn't bother about that. Even when I was to get up to 2 years stay permit, they gave me 1 year, 2 months. The card was within in the office. The person just deliberately kept it in the office, allow like 6 months or 8 months to go out of the 2 years. So I only got 1 year, 2 months. So it's terrible anyway how some of the immigration officers treat people, but they are not all the same. There are nice ones, there are terrible ones. But now, comparing Germany to Canada, getting the stay permit, I think Canada is one of the beautiful places right now because Canada is a very big country, and the population as well is now up to 50 million. And right now they need people, but the issue is Canada doesn't just need people. Canada need people who are skillful. They need people who are educated, who can contribute to the economy, not just people who come up become a nuisance in their country. So they don't encourage that. So that's why they have this express pool system, which you have to apply for. That guarantee you that once you are nominated for it, you get the start a job, and then you get your long-term stay permit, which is a permanent resident. Then I think 2 years later or 3 years later, you can apply for your citizenship, which is very easy. But in Germany, getting the document is also the process is not that long. If your hands are clean, you not dip your hands into crime, and you just do follow the law, don't break the laws, and do the necessary things. Getting the stay permit or becoming a German citizen is easy, and I think in Canada it's more easier as well. But let's talk about the lifestyle. Now, Germany is a country where, like before the corona outbreak, food in Germany used to be cheap. Drink, water, pizza, and house accommodation fee are usually cheap. But the problem is you can get a cheap accommodation, but for getting a house for yourself, buying a house is very, very difficult in Germany. Very, very difficult. And this in Canada, renting an apartment in Canada can be expensive, but you own a house in Canada very easy. So the two system, when you consider the accommodation, the house of it, you find out that one, Both are the same, but both operate a system that in this part there is advantage and disadvantage. So here you can pay a rentage of, that was before the corona outbreak, but right now after the corona outbreak, after the corona outbreak, things become so high in Germany. The food stuff, everything right now, house rent, everything are so expensive in Germany, and the salary remain the same. Um, like I said, to rent an apartment in Germany, you pay less compared to Canada. But to buy a house in Germany, you face so much stress and you pay higher compared to Canada. So you have to compare both. For me, I prefer owning a house than being a rent, being like renting an apartment, because how long, if you consider, if you calculate the money you spend in on a rentage in let's say 5 years, you realize that that money could get you a house, a beautiful house in Canada. So I think in terms of accommodation, Canada is a preferred place to be. And but this you have to decide, no. And secondly, language. Now we know that English is a general language all over the world. So almost every country you can survive everywhere with English language. But German language is for Germany. It's for German people. You can, I think, yeah, you speak German in Germany, and a little bit of Misop in Austria, and Switzerland, and Luxembourg. So you can survive in those areas with the German language. But English language, you can survive all over the world. So if you're a kind of person like me that are not go with learning languages, I think Canada should be the preferred place to be. And another thing again is working and taxation in Germany compared to Canada. Like in Germany, once you married, you marry, you and your wife, you have 8 point the your tax number is 8, and this 8 can be break down into 3, 5, or 4, 4, no more, no less. So if you and your wife are working and both of you are earning almost the same thing, I think it's advisable that you take 4, 4. In that way, both of you might be, depends on how much you're earning, because in Germany, the more you earn, the more tax you pay. They don't have a tax system that covers that, like 3,000 below. But to them, any amount you earn determine the tax you're gonna pay. So if you're paying tax, or if you're taking the fourth class, your tax is going to be very high, and if you're taking the fifth class, it's going to be extremely high. So like myself, I'm taking fourth class like every month, because my at the moment I'm just doing the court job. There's a short stand job, and my salary is around 2,000 euro, and I paid a tax of about 600 or something euro. The same as my wife, but because of this corona, a lot of things change. So I paid tax of about 600 euros. So you think about it, 600 euro out of 2,000 euros. So you only get in the 1,400 euro, which is not so good. And in Germany, you pay for a lot of things from your from your tax. They paid for a lot of things, even things that doesn't matter. They just pay the money for you. No, and they say when you get old, when you advance in age and you can't do things any longer, they have to start paying, helping you, and supporting you, giving you money to take care of yourself and pay your bills. But at the end of the day, you realize that if you rely on this system of rental, which is a pension, at the end of the day, you realize that you wasted your years, your useful years. because their pension is never going to be enough. Don't, whatever they tell you at this early age, they're lying to you. They are, except your salary, your gross, it was about 5,000 euro. Five, maybe let me say, your gross payment was about 3,500 to 5,000 euro and above. Then you can get something. But when you compare the, like, except you've done something on ground that will sustain you, that is the only way. But in Germany, it's difficult because they don't have that in their plan. The plan they have is that work, eat, buy your few clothes, enjoy yourself around the city, spend some, throw some little cash around, drive expensive car if you can. That's just when you talk about future plan, they don't want you to think about that. They just want everybody to be under a bondage so that they can control everybody. The Germans want to control everybody. That's why when you know they encourage you not to work, and when you're not working, they tell you, okay, come, we can pay you. You just sit at home. Whenever we want to talk to you, we invite you, we talk to you. Whatever we want you do it, just be there. That's why a lot of foreigners, they come in here, all they do is make babies. Make, if you have up to 5 babies, you'll be earning good salary for having babies. At the end of the day, you are discrediting those who are working because you are taking the money of the workers to pay those who are sitting at home making babies, wake up whenever they like, eat whenever they like, do go wherever they like, do whatever they like. So I don't see dignity. The workers, they have no dignity in Germany, and their work are a bit, not a bit, their work are stressful, and the stress is not the issue. You do the work, but you have nothing to show for it. You can be working at any up to $2,005 euro, and at the end of the month you have nothing to show for it because they are going to bring all unnecessary bit to you. Like they just increase house rent for no reason. They tell you that the provision fee you paid, like the what they call caution, you no, not caution, sorry, what they call name costing, like taking care of the house, the waste bin and every other things, and repair. So they just keep increasing on those things every year. Sometimes they just breathe beef for you. You have no choice. You have to pay, because if you go and take a lawyer, at the end of the day, the lawyer is going to do nothing, and you still going to pay the lawyer and pay the bill. So they know that people are helpless, so they take advantage of people just to pull. No, every, like this year, 2020, they send a letter across to almost everybody in the country. They have to pay some amount of money. Why some country are looking for a way to help make the citizen look make the people comfortable, but Germany, they are just making people go through hell. So the system is kind of messed up anyway. So, and at the end of the day, you have to decide. Like I said before, it depends on where you're coming from. So, if your country will be so messed up, you're ready to face anything outside. That is, but if you have a choice, I think Germany is not the right choice. Like some people said, education is free. Nothing is free in Germany. It's just that you don't know how the cash is coming in. You paying the cash, or you gonna pay the cash. They make it look like it's free. It's not free. Nothing is free. German will never give you anything free. Know that. Have that at the back of your mind. So whatever benefit you're enjoying today, someone is paying for it. That is what the system is. Someone out there is crying, Nakshi take every single day, paying for what he or she doesn't use, paying for other people without having his own, without having the privilege of planning a good life for his or herself. That is the system of Germany. So I love when people say things are free, healthcare is free, education is free, a lot of things are free. Nothing is free in Germany. You just don't know how the cash is coming in. So Germany, the system is something that, like I said, if you have a choice, you have to rethink. Not like Canada. Though Canada does, there is no country in the world where you can go and you just wake up and find a tree of money growing in front of your house. You just go there, start to pluck cash from the tree. No, you work for your cash, and like in Germany, you are not allowed to do 8 hours job, 2 8 hours jobs at the same time. But in Canada, you can do that if you have the strength, just like in US and in UK. If you have the strength, you can do that. For me, if you're thinking of easy way place to go to, I think UK is even better than Germany. Yeah, UK is better because they have open tech, so you can work and earn a lot of money if you have the strength. Not like you can, as a man, you can survive with 8 hours job. It's a lazy job. No one survive with 8 hours job. You have to do more because you have to earn more. But in Germany, if you do more than 8 hours, you're still gonna earn less because the government will be angry that you're taking the job that belongs to other people. And meanwhile, they are the ones who ask those people not to work by keeping them at home and paying them. So they can take 50% tax from your extra hours. If they can take 35% from your normal 8 hours, they can take up to 60 from your extra hour. That's what they do. So all this doesn't encourage people to work. But if you are used to working, you gotta work because you can staying at home. I tried it during the corona outbreak. I tried it for like 6 months. Man, I was almost running mad because staying at home is more hair of a work than working. So when you working, you're exercising your body, but when you stay at home, you become lazy and a lot of your body structure changes and things start to fall apart. So that is it. Generally, you have to think wise. If you want to get rich, make a plan for yourself and for your family. I think Germany is not the right place. Mm-mm. Germany is not the right place. If you're here, you want to live a lazy life. You just come make babies and just stress free. Whatever comes, you just manage it. You just live without making a mark on earth. I think Germany is good for that. It's good for that. But if you want to make a mark, you want to have own a company, you want to live a good life, not Germany. Not Germany. Just Germany doesn't have that in their agenda. So you have to rethink. That is it. So and education standard, Canada is far ahead right now. Like I said, Canada, they are out to build their country, so they open their arms to immigrants who are ready to do something, not the ones that want to come and become something else in their country. So for me, I prefer Canada to Germany. Maybe because I've not really lived in Canada, I've lived in Germany. That's why I'm seeing this huge difference. But however, Germany is an expensive country. If at least maybe you go online, try to make research on YouTube or Google where you should be the most expensive place to be. A lot of people are going to tell you Canada is the most expensive place. But what people don't know is if you're living in the part of Germany, like Düsseldorf, you're living like let me say non-Rhine-Westphalia, you would think things are cheap in Germany. Meanwhile, when someone wants to tell you about Canada, it's just going to tell you about Toronto and the high places in Canada. Now, if you talk about expensive things in Canada, you should be comparing Toronto to Munich. Yes, Munich. Munich, in Munich, like in North Rhine-Westphalia, you can get an apartment, maybe a two-bedroom and a parlor for €700. But in Munich, you're talking about around €2,000. So you can't compare this North Rhine-Westphalia to Canada. So because people who are making their comparables, they are speaking from a high place, the highest place in the country. So for me, I think Canada, in terms of food stuff, Canada is cheaper than Germany. Because if you go to a low city, a city who has a low income and things are cheaper there. Like comparing here, Northern Westphalia to Zaxxon, to Munich. So things are cheap. But notwithstanding, there is no place in the world where you can find people. No matter how difficult it is, just like some people will tell you UK is not a place to go, but a lot of people are doing very well in UK. So that is how it is. At the end of the day, you just get to decide where to be and how to do your thing. That is it. So if you have any question regarding Germany, you can drop your comment below. I won't take time. I will just reply you straight away. And that is it. Thank you for watching. So if there is anything you want to ask me, you want me to talk about, you can drop a comment. I can make research for you and tell you how it is. Thank you very much.